Advent marks the beginning of a new liturgical year, and so in many ways, for Catholics, the first Sunday of Advent is our New Year's Day. And so in thinking about that, I'm mindful of certain secular New Year's traditions, like making a New Year's resolution. This desire that we feel at the end of one year to put the old behind us, especially the bad parts of the old year, and embark upon something new, some journey of self-improvement, getting rid of old habits or starting some new adventure. Now, I know statistically most people abandon their New Year's resolutions by the end of January, but nevertheless, I think there's something commendable there in this desire to put the bad parts of the old year behind us and to seek after something better, to make a new beginning. And that's what I want us to be mindful of as we start this Advent season, that what we have this Advent is an opportunity to make a new beginning. Our first reading on the first Sunday of Advent comes from the prophet Isaiah, and he asks a question that I think can't help but be on the hearts and minds of anyone who is seeking after what's good and what's true, and they look at the world around us and they see all the turmoil there and they see the evil that's in the world, and especially if we look into our own hearts and we see the sin that we're capable of there. And that question is why? Why, Lord? Why do you let us wander from your paths? Why do you let us stray? Why do you allow us to sin? Why do you allow us to experience evil, to do harm to others and to ourselves? Why do you allow us to experience fear and anxiety and desolation? Why, Lord? And I think the only answer, that can be offered is so that we might make a return to the Lord, so that we might turn away from those things, away from our sins, and once more turn towards God in love. Because you see, to be able to love God requires that we be able to make a choice. I know sometimes it can feel like it would just be easier if God had made us so that we couldn't help but do good, that we couldn't help but love him, that we couldn't help but follow his ways. But you see, if we were only doing good, if we were only following God because we were compelled to do so, that we had no other choice, that wouldn't really be love. Love requires a choice. It requires that voluntary turning towards the beloved and making that gift of self. And this is what we have an opportunity to do as we make a new beginning this Advent, to once more turn towards the Lord. Isaiah also prays, Lord, would that you might find us doing right. Lord, when you come, would that you might find us doing right. Now, Jesus reminds us in our gospel this Sunday that we don't know when the day of the Lord's coming will be. Now, he's referring there to the Lord's coming at the end of time, but we all have that divine appointment, that day in our lives that will be the last day when we will meet the Lord, and we don't know when that will come. So if we want the Lord to meet us doing right when he comes, we need to make that new beginning today. We need to turn away from our sin, turn away from what's evil, turn away from the dying things of this world, and embrace what's eternal, embrace what's good and true and beautiful, to embrace the face of Christ. As we begin our Advent journey this year, let's look at our psalm response from this Sunday and pray with the psalmist, Lord, make us turn to you so that we might see your face and we shall be saved. Let us see your face in the church, in our Advent practices, in our prayers, in our penances. Let us see your face in the sacraments. Let us see your face in the scriptures. Let us see our face in the poor and those whom you're calling us to serve. Let us see your face in our neighbors and those that we're called to love. Let us see your face in ourselves, knowing that we're made in your image and likeness. Lord, let us see your face in all these many and varied ways in your creation here, so that we might be made fit to see your face in heaven in eternity. Lord, let us see your face. Let us make a new return to the Lord this Advent. Let's start something new.